Welcome to What's the Score, a series solely dedicated to the support of Central Florida's small business and entrepreneurs. Donated as a community service by AM 660 The Answer and Salem Communications. Now, here's Christopher Hart and Rich Jaeckle.
Hello, and welcome to What's the Score? Thank you for tuning in, folks. That's right, you have found the show that is designed to help you come up with that winning combination for your business. I am Christopher Hart of the American Adversaries Radio Show, joined in studio today, of course, colleague from SCORE. That, of course, is Rich Jaeckle. Rich, how are you doing today?
And how are you, Christopher the Hart?
feeling spunky today. How about yourself?
Good. I like that spunk.
All right, and once again, thanks for joining us, folks. Real briefly, SCORE is a free mentorship program for entrepreneurs or business people out there, whether you're just starting out or already in business. And you'll see what I'm talking about if you listen to the whole show today. And the best part about it is it's
free.
There you go.
Free by a lot of experienced men and women
who have succeeded in business at all levels in all industries, if you will.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what kind of business that you want to get in or that you're in, somebody at SCORE can help you. I guarantee that. And you can go to SCORE. They have an office here in Orlando, one of the only two, is it, in the nation?
Yeah, yes.
The SCORE
You're talking about the Entrepreneur Center, right?
SCORE is a nationwide organization, but here in Orlando, you have the advantage that they are located in the Entrepreneur Center, which is located in the Fashion Square Mall. And it's right between JCPenney and Sears. And they are open 9 to 5. You can walk in. They got brochures there. They got people there who can sort of help you figure out what SCORE and the other organizations that are located at the Entrepreneur Center can do for you. If you'd like, you can call and make an appointment. The phone number is 407-420-4844. They have a website, scoreorlando.org, and because it's a national organization, there's also a national website, which is score.org. And what they don't have at scoreorlando.org, they do have at score.org. All kinds of business documents and templates and all kinds of information.
That's right. Forms to fill out just about anything.
Absolutely. And one thing that you can do at scoreorlando.org is find out about the seminars that they present all the time. We've got a free seminar coming up. And also, before we mention that seminar, BizFest is coming up. Now, this is where I actually met you. This is where I actually met you last year.
Well, you had me on your show
just prior to
the BizFest.
Okay, it was because of BizFest.
Right.
And it was just a couple of weeks before we met. And you're right, you were on the show. And it was a great opportunity for people, who are just starting out or if you're already in business to go down there and network and get introduced to SCORE and also a lot of other vendors who were there.
And I have to question your judgment because here we are 9 months later and you're still with me.
I guess so. But it's going to be when? The date is now set?
Yes, for May 19th.
May 19th. And this is free, folks. And it starts at, 9 in the morning?
No, it actually starts at about 1 in the afternoon.
1 in the afternoon, okay.
Yeah.
And it'll go on into the early evening. And they have a Shark Tank-like competition, which we talked about last week with Darren.
Right. And we had Darren on here who was the winner.
Yep.
Of the Pitch Fest last year, which is the Shark Tank type thing.
Yeah.
And that went over great, and we continue it this year.
So put that on your calendar right now, folks, May 19th, and it'll be in the afternoon at the Entrepreneur Center. And it'll be right there in the Fashion Square. As soon as you go in through the doors into the Fashion Square Mall, it'll all be set up right there in the mall. And it's a great way to get acquainted with SCORE. But you don't have to wait until BizFest, because there's a free seminar coming up.
There is, and you led right into what I was going to say.
All right.
We've been talking about the GAP program, the Growth Accelerator program.
Yes.
For a long time here. And
we've been talking around it.
We have, yeah, but not anything explicit or really nailing it. So guess who we have? Guess who came to dinner today?
I take it somebody that is at SCORE who has something to do with the GAP program.
We actually have the director of the entire GAP program here today. His name is Doug Ware.
Doug, welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Chris. I'm glad to be here.
Well, first of all, how long have you been with SCORE?
I've been with SCORE 11 years now.
11 years.
Since 2004. Right? I came right after Rich.
Yeah.
Well, about 10 years after him. No,
I actually appointed him to be my successor as chairman.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we all take 2-year stints at that, and he suckered me into that after he had his 2 years.
He was a newbie. He was plenty in my hands.
Well, SCORE puts on, well, not only are you the director of the GAP program, but you also are a presenter. Is that what you would call it in the free seminar that's coming up later this month? It's January 30th. It's called You, Your Business Idea, and How SCORE Can Help.
That's correct. Yeah, we have a number of seminars, and we have a number of volunteers, our presenters, and I'm one of them. Rich is also one of them.
Okay, and that will be January 30th. That's a Saturday. Excuse me.
It's Saturday, right?
Yeah, that's right.
9:30 to 12:30.
9:30 to 12:30. So that'll be the last Saturday of this month, 9:30 at the Entrepreneur Center. And it's free. You don't have to register. You can just come in over there. And if you're there because you heard it on the radio, you heard us our show on the radio, please let them know. And Doug, what can they expect to learn at You, Your Business Idea, and How SCORE Can Help?
Well, that's kind of the first seminar in our series, and it's really for people who are considering starting a business. And it gives some idea of what is an entrepreneur. Okay, what are the different types of business? You can start a business, you can buy a business, you can buy a franchise, you can do an online business. We kind of go through the advantage and disadvantages of those types of businesses. We also talk a little bit about what does it take to be an entrepreneur. I mean, number one, you have to be pretty sure your financial. You can't be scared of financial insecurity. I think that's one of the factors.
And
right?
you got to be.
You got to be decisive, and you have to have some leadership. We go through some of the attributes, and there's actually an little assessment process as part of the seminar to help people. Do I have what it takes to be an entrepreneur?
A couple of weeks ago, I got a question from one of our listeners, and it was, would this seminar be a good thing for, say, high school or college students to come to who are, just trying to figure out where they want to go in life? Would this be a good thing for them to participate in?
I think it'd be very good because it gives them some idea of, most kids out of college are going to be an employee. This is the opposite of being an employee. It's running your own business. So it kind of tells them what are the strengths and weaknesses of each.
What about high school students?
Same thing with high school students. I might tell them what they want to do pursue in their college careers.
Yeah, so folks, if you're out there, and you have children in your family, whether it's grandchildren or children of your own, and tell your friends about this. This is a great learning experience, and for anybody, they should have this knowledge at their fingertips. Mm-hmm. They should have gone through this course, and they're not going to get it in high school or college. I'll guarantee you that.
No, and plus it really gives them a dose of reality.
That's what I mean.
This is what it's going to take you to start your own business.
Right.
Do you want it? Are you capable of doing it?
And it's not meant to scare people off, but it is meant to present reality.
Right.
But it is also there to encourage people who have ideas.
Exactly.
And where they can go to do something with that idea.
And it also tells about SCORE services, what our counseling services and our other seminar series. So we cover that pretty in depth also. So they'll have a good idea of how SCORE can help. That's the other piece of it.
And once again, this is a free seminar, folks, and it's the last Saturday of this month, 9:30 at the Entrepreneur Center, and it's You, Your Business Idea, and How SCORE Can Help. So I encourage you to get your high school and perhaps college age students and get them to go to this seminar. And I guarantee you, they'll be glad they went. They'll be thanking you for it.
Oh, yeah. They'll be second guessing, if anything. Am I doing the right thing? And is this the right position to go? Or is it too early? Or,
right.
Now, they get all those things.
What do you specifically discuss at this seminar, Rich?
We talk about how to register your business. There's 5 forms of registration. And
you mean registration? You mean the corporation?
With the state.
Oh,
right. Yeah, with the state. There's LLC, limited liability company. There's the S corporation. Yeah. There's the sole proprietor, the C corporation, and then there's professional association. So most people nowadays will register as an S corporation or an LLC.
Yeah. Like I said, folks, this is really useful knowledge that especially young people can use as they're starting out in life, because they're at those crossroads where they're making the big decisions. And it can be a big decision whether you even go to college, because you might want to pursue an entrepreneurial career. You may want to go to a trade school so that you can have that trade to have a business in, plumbing or something like that.
Yeah.
Who was it we had a while back? You know, the high-tech guy who said he was having his son go to the tech school to learn how to do plumbing, because in the future everybody's going to want to be high-tech and everything.
And there's going to be no plumbers anymore.
Yeah, so they're going to be out there making even more money than they make now.
Exactly.
We've actually had some presentations at the Orange County.
Oh, yeah, we do that regularly during the school year. Orange County Technical Schools.
Right.
There's four, one in Winter Park. There's 4 locations, one downtown, one in Winter Garden, and I don't know where the 4th one is, but we've spoken at every one of them.
Right. And what it is like, again, giving these guys what am I going to do now that I know how to be a plumber?
Right.
How do I go out there and generate business? How do I get clients? What do my clients look like? Where am I? What am I going to, all that stuff.
Sure.
That goes through. You are an entrepreneur.
Yep.
So you know what went through your mind.
Yep. Absolutely. Now, you were at an event today. Was that at one of these locations?
No, this was a community service type thing.
Well,
It was in Pine Hills.
I see.
And it was at the soiree.
Now, groups can reach out to SCORE if they would like you to come and speak to them. Can they not?
They can. Like this one was geared towards small businesses and entrepreneurs in the Pine Hills area, trying to rejuvenate that area. So SCORE has become a partner in this effort, along with Orange County, along with SBDC, Small Business Development Center. And so we were all there today. There was probably 20 community service providers that were participating and allowing people to know in that area, here's some support for you. So reach out. It's free. It's support for you.
All right. And if you have a group like the Pine Hills group, that area out there, and you would like to partner with SCORE, you would like them to come out and speak to your group, go to scoreorlando.org or give them a call at the Entrepreneur Center, 407-420-4844. That's 407-420-4844.
Right.
And they be happy, because that's the great thing about SCORE is they want to help entrepreneurs everywhere they can. That's why they're nationwide, and that's why they reach out in all parts of our community. Okay, we have to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to be talking more with Doug Ware about the GAP program at SCORE. So please don't go away. Stick around for more of What's the Score. Okay, welcome back to What's the Score, folks. I hope you're enjoying the show today. I know it's going to be very informative, especially if you're already in business. We were talking in the first segment of the show about the free seminars, the free seminar called You, Your Business Idea, and How SCORE Can Help, and how these guys present portions of that seminar. And it's for people who are starting out, or people who are just, maybe, as we said, young people in life who are just beginning to make the decisions where they want to go in life, in high school or in college. And this will be a great introductory to the world of business and whether it is for them or not. And so, please encourage the young people in your family to come out. It's the last Saturday of this month, and it's at 9:30 at the Entrepreneur Center at the Fashion Square Mall. And it's free. You don't have to make a reservation. It's just come on out. And as I said, encourage the young people as well. Now, Doug Ware is our guest today. And Doug is one of the presenters, as I said, at that seminar. But Doug is also the director of the GAP program at SCORE. To begin with, Doug, what does GAP stand for, please?
GAP stands for Growth Accelerator Program. And it's something our chapter developed about 1.5 years ago.
And this doesn't sound like something for somebody who's just beginning.
That's correct. In fact, it's for clients that are already in business. And there are certain requirements that if a client in business comes in, talks to a mentor, and the mentor can review their background of their business, he might recommend they look at the GAP program, because then the GAP program, we essentially assign an advisory board to work with the client. It's more of a formalized process of mentoring.
Rich, how many established businesses that come to SCORE do you normally recommend to the GAP program?
It's very selective, very selective. In other words, you have to have a certain amount of revenue. You have to be the decision maker. You can't be one of the workers in there that comes in, or one of the principals that cannot make the decision to move forward. So in other words, you're buying into this program, and it could be 6 months, it could be a year, but you have to have the buy-in, you personally, as the owner, the business owner. And therefore, we may get 50 applicants, and we may only choose 5 that are really qualified.
And real quickly, what Rich means by the buy-in, it means you have to be dedicated. You have to be committed to this.
Right.
Doug, you were going to say something.
Well, I'm saying we've had 9 clients to date in the GAP program, and
it's been that exclusive.
That exclusive, and part of and we've had some learning curves going through it. And Rich pointed out one of them, that we wanted to talk to the owner or the decision maker, because 3 of those 9 we were talking to people that weren't that didn't have the majority of the ownership. And they couldn't make decisions. We made recommendations, and it couldn't be implemented because the other owner wasn't part of the process. So number one, to apply for the GAP program, you have to be in business at least 18 months. You have to do at least $30,000 revenue a month. That's $360,000, in a year.
Okay.
And then you have to have 3 employees.
Okay.
And then you have to be the owner. Or the decision maker, okay? And then you basically fill an application out. If you meet those requirements, you fill an application out that we review, and if you're accepted, we appoint a team leader. You have your mentor already, the counselor you're working with, but we then appoint a team leader that can focus on the issue that, if it's marketing or financial, the issue that you have as a business. And that team leader will put together 3 or 4 other SCORE members, and they'll have formal meetings, usually monthly, and meet with the client, and we would set out objectives, mutual objectives with the client, and we know what the objectives. We do an assessment, and we do some analysis, and then we make recommendations that the client can carry out.
Rich, let me ask you this. If somebody comes to SCORE, they hear this program, and they say, well, that might be for me. And they come to SCORE, and they get set up, never been with SCORE before. They get set up with a mentor. How fast could they expect to get recommended for the GAP program? It's
pretty well a judgment call by the mentor. If they say, wait a minute, this person's right on the cusp of a breakthrough, and they could use this help, this extra boost here, because it's a very focused program, and it focuses only on the issues that will cause this person, this client, to move ahead. So it's very selective, like marketing, it might be, or it might be back office accounting, or it might be growth. So whichever issue the client is facing, will bring in the team based on that issue, but it generally could be as little as 2 weeks.
Right. Once you fill the application out, then I would review the application and make the decision. We have a GAP committee. We review it with the committee. And once the decision's made, then the next step is an assessment. So the client then would fill out an assessment, so we have more information about the business, and we meet with the client, and then we set up the team leader and the team based on the assessment and what we think and what we agree with the client that he needs, the kind of help he needs. So within a month, we'd get the process moving.
Okay.
After application.
I presume that the team is set up with team members who are experienced in whatever field that business is either in or needs.
Exactly, or the function that they need, marketing, financial.
Is there a common thread that you have seen through the businesses who have come in that have gone into the GAP program? In other words, a common need or a common thing that they have been doing wrong, Rich?
Yeah, I would say pretty much marketing, wouldn't you, Doug?
Well, marketing, but we had some wanted growth, some needed increase their profitability.
Yeah.
So it's really the 3 areas. There's the marketing area, there's the operation area, and there's a financial area. And I think we've seen all 3.
Yeah, and nothing happens till something gets sold. There's an old adage that goes like that. So you can't, we can't have product, we can't have anything until somebody sells something.
Well, right, yeah, and as you said, there has to be a certain amount of sales for this for the
Correct.
recommended. Right. Now, does it matter if I presume it doesn't matter if this is a brick and mortar type operation or web type operation?
Not at all. We've had, in fact, one of our clients is a web e-commerce business, and he wants to grow the business, and so we're helping him. He wants to actually hire salespeople because right now he's using Google, and he has to pay. It's pay per click, and the conversion rate for online businesses is very low. So he's paying for everybody that comes on his website, but he's paying Google for that pay per click, but he's not getting the revenue.
results.
So, he's not getting bang for his buck.
Getting bang for a buck.
Yeah.
So we're trying to look at how we can increase the sales using salespeople.
I see.
Yeah.
And once again, do they need to have been in business a certain period of time? You said
18 months.
You did say 18
right.
months.
Right.
We're kind of looking at a startup business. Well, even banks look at startup businesses the first 2 years. And most businesses, they want to get profitable by that time, but then they're ready to start looking at different things, more strategic. And that's what the GAP program addresses. The more helps them look at strategy in terms of how I grow or how can I improve my operation.
And where do I want to go?
Yeah.
What's my exit strategy? Where do I want to get to? That's part of the GAP goal. The GAP program goal is to define what the client wants to get out of the program, what they want to get out of the program. So it's very clear as to, and they have to respond to every one of the issues. If we have a meeting and say, okay, you have to come back in a month or 3 weeks with these things done. If they don't do them, you're not cooperating, you don't need the help, or you don't want the help, so you're out of the GAP program sort of thing.
Okay.
It's not us. It's really the client's buy-in. We go again.
Another example is strategy. Like one client came in, there were two young people that started a sushi operation.
Okay.
And they wanted a franchise. It's successful, and they want to franchise it. But we came to the conclusion that you really should open another location to test out that, because it was a specific location by a university. The majority of their customers were university students. The majority of their workers were university. So that might not work in a situation where you didn't have a university. So our recommendation was, before you go to franchise, let's try open another operation in similar areas to see if it works.
Okay, and
they're doing that now. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's a market test.
Okay, and so this is the type of thing that you will benefit by taking advantage of the GAP program. As the fellow said, it's not for everybody, but if you're out there and you're in business and you meet the qualifications, hey, these guys may be what you need to get you to that next level of profitability and success and through growth. Absolutely. And Rich, has anybody flunked out of it yet?
Actually, I wouldn't use the term flunked. Has anybody, let's see, not graduated? Yes, we have had a couple of the clients that reached a point where we were at an impasse. In other words, they were not able to make a decision to go beyond where they needed to go.
Okay.
And therefore, we could do nothing more with the GAP program, so we assigned them to counselors specifically. For instance, the client needed marketing help, strategic national marketing help.
Right.
So we assigned them to two counselors that help them with that.
Right. So it's not like you kicked them out the door or something like that.
No, kicked them to the curb. You're flunked. You're out of here. Repeat 6th grade.
No. So
our motto and score is for the life of your business. So we keep a client forever if they want to work with us.
Right.
Okay, and so that is a preview of the GAP program. We'll get into some more of the specifics when we come back from the break. But, folks, I'd like you to consider radio in your marketing plans, because radio, in particular news talk radio, is the most listened to radio format in the country. And radio itself is the number one source that people go to for their news. So if you're ready to use radio to help you get to the next level, consider Salem Communications. They have 3 stations. questions, and that way they can pinpoint your audience. And the best way to do that is to call Bill Files. He's the station manager. He'd love to give you a tour of the stations at 407-618-1760. That's Bill Files at Salem Communications, 407-618-1760. I think you'll find that advertising on radio is very affordable, and they're great professionals over there, and will put together and produce a great commercial for you. So Bill Files, 407-618-1760. As I said, when we come back, we'll talk more with Doug Ware about the GAP program and some more specifics, and we'll kind of walk through a test case, if you will, and see how it goes. And once again, if you have any comments or questions or suggestions for the show, please go to score@nationalec.org and send them to us there. That's score@nationalec.org. And remember, you can find out about everything that's going on here at the Entrepreneur Center in Orlando at scoreorlando.org. That's scoreorlando.org. And don't forget, the national website for SCORE is simply score.org. And that's where you can find a lot of business documents and templates and things of that nature. All right, we got to go, so we'll be right back after this short break. Okay, welcome back to What's the Score, folks, the show designed to help you come up with that winning combination for your business, whether you're just starting out or, as you'll be seeing here in a few moments, whether you're already in business. I am Christopher Hart, along with Rich Jaeckle and Doug Ware. Both of these men are volunteers over at SCORE. Neither one of you get paid by SCORE, do you?
No, sir.
I do, but I wish you wouldn't have asked that question on the air.
Sorry.
No, we don't get paid.
I didn't think so. SCORE is a free mentorship program, and please do take advantage of it. ScoreOrlando.org is where you can find out more. And don't forget to take advantage of the free seminar coming up the last Saturday of this month, and it'll be at 9:30 a.m. at the Entrepreneur Center in the Fashion Square Mall. It's titled You, Your Business Idea, and How SCORE Can Help. And if you didn't hear the first part of the show, I'm really suggesting that you take the young people in your life, either the teenagers who are in high school or just starting out in college or maybe just getting ready to get out of college. Take them, have them go to this seminar, because it'll be a good primer, if you will, on the business world and what they can expect if they might want to get into business on their own. And this is a great gift to give the young people, both boys and girls, and it really doesn't matter how old either, to go on down there and find out what it means to be an entrepreneur, what it means to be in business for yourself, what you can expect, and how it can be very rewarding. And both of these gentlemen also will be there that day, so you can meet them.
Yeah, this isn't like learning out of a book. That's the big thing. You can learn, you can read how to be an entrepreneur, but this is the guts of the thing. You're out there in the field learning from experienced business people. Look, here's what happened.
Sure.
This is in the book, but it ain't so out there.
That's right.
And, Custer read the manual, and look what happened to him.
All right. So very well put. And once again, that's the last Saturday of the month at 9:30 at the Entrepreneur Center. And please do come on out and meet Rich and Doug and tell them you heard them on the radio. And we'd love that. All right. Doug Ware is the director of the GAP program. That's the Growth Accelerator program at the SCORE here in Orlando. And this is a program designed for people who've already been in business at least 18 months, have a certain amount of income, $360,000 a year, 3 employees. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of business that you're in, you possibly will qualify for the GAP program. When you get in it, though, as Rich has been stressing, you have to really be committed that you're going to work with the GAP people. That you're asking them to put a lot of trust in you and your expertise. Is that the bottom line here?
That's correct. We basically will set. Well, the first step is after the applicant is accepted, is they fill out a assessment questionnaire. So that helps our team try to understand the business and understand where they want to go. And then when we meet with the client, we set goals and objectives of how to achieve those objectives.
What kind of questions are on that assessment?
Well, let me look here. I got a copy of our sheet right here.
You just happen to have a copy with you. How about that?
And once again, scoreorlando.org is where you can find out more about GAP program.
All right. Some of the questions we ask are, first of all, we like to look at all your financials. So we want to understand your annual sales. What are your sales goals for the next 3 years? What do you think are your current strengths and weaknesses of your business and challenges? What's preventing your company from achieving these opportunities? We also look at measurements. A lot of times we find out that most businesses aren't measuring the right thing. So we want to find out, is there any particular measurement you're using that drives your business? Like in retail, would be dollars per square foot of your retail space. One of our clients was an optometrist. She was an eye doctor. She had 2 stores, and we asked her how many. She wanted to grow her profitability.
Sure.
And we essentially said the problem in her business was not the retail side, selling the glasses. So one of the things we asked her, how many prescriptions you write to buy glasses from you? She wasn't measuring that. So we put that in place. And so we got a better idea of, was she turning those prescriptions that she eye exams into glasses? And we helped her understand that was one of the things. And we also looked at her inventory of glasses and who was making the selection of it. And we helped her on the retail side of that business. We focused on the retail, and because she was a great eye doctor. She is a great eye doctor.
Right.
But so we helped put measurements in place to help us do the analytics and help her achieve her goal of increasing her profit.
You said one of the questions you ask is about strengths and weaknesses. Is there a common strength or weakness that you see amongst your clients, or is it really a lot of?
Yeah, not really. I think your strengths. A lot of strength is what's your strengths versus your competition, and what's your opportunities and challenges. So there's really no common denominator there. So
okay, and Rich,
yeah, just to follow up there. This person is a private optometrist that sells glasses.
Right.
You go to 2020 Eyeworks, it's a company that sells glasses that has an optometrist.
It's a franchise.
Well, I know, but
right.
You see the difference? One is emphasized on the optometrist and giving the service of the optometry, and the other one is just a retail place to buy glasses.
Right.
So she was missing the retail part of it.
Well, you can't grow there's only so many hours in a day you can do eye exams. And there's only one person. Yeah. You're limiting your growth to that number, okay?
Yeah.
But you can...
You're pigeonholed.
You can grow by selling more glasses, okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Chris.
No. I was going to say that this is what Gap is there for. This is, there are a lot of people out there who are in business and professional people who are making good money. But they could go to another level or save themselves a lot of time because they're either being redundant or they're not working the right side of the aisle.
Very good. They can change their focus.
Exactly.
And some of the other questions we ask, like, how do you measure customer satisfaction? Who are your top 3 customers?
Mm-hmm.
How do they measure customer satisfaction?
Well, some have to
always
do
been a plague.
Well, a survey or assessment process is one way. That's...
Do you find that most businesses don't try to assess their customer satisfaction?
A lot of small businesses don't do that.
They either aren't aware that they need to be doing that, or just do they feel like that what they get face to face with the customers is enough?
That's generally it. But a lot of times, one of the problems is if you have a customer that's unsatisfied, you might not ever hear from them again. So one of the things we always emphasize is if you have a customer complain, jump on it. You have to have a process for solving customer complaints, because if a customer comes to you as the owner, and it's a complaint, you can be sure that it's happened 10 times before. You just haven't heard about it.
I see.
A lot less than only a small percentage of people complain. So, especially in the service business, you have to have a process for following up on complaints.
Is that a common theme or common thing that small businesses sometimes kind of let fester, Rich?
You know what? It's really amazing that when small businesses have gotten to a point where they're comfortable,
right,
they will take on an arrogant trait where, hey, I've got enough clients now. I don't need to, kowtow to them anymore. I don't have to listen to them because I've got enough revenues. I'm satisfied.
Right.
I'm making $300,000 a year myself. And, so what? If they've got some complaints, we'll address them, but it ain't going to happen.
It's funny you say that because during the building craze and the building boom,
perfect example.
Yeah, you would hear that amongst some contractors. I'm not going to name any names, and it wasn't prevalent, but it was certainly out there.
It was out there. That's right. And those guys, when it came back, weren't.
They're gone now.
They didn't come back.
That's right.
One of the other clients we have is a catering company. And, they want to grow their business. And we looked at their website, and there wasn't very many testimonials. So we recommended, why don't you write the testimonial for somebody that's happy and then see if they'll approve it. And we did that. The other thing was they had their phone number only on one page of their website. We said put the phone number on every page.
Oh,
we called that company, and they didn't answer their phone. They went to voicemail. So we recommended that answer every phone call. There were two. So at one of the future meetings, they came back and said, we answered a phone call. It was from Harriet Lake. She's a famous person here in Central Florida, and her daughter had used this catering company, and she wanted to use them. And if they wouldn't have answered that phone call, she might not have. So they were so happy they answered the phone. Okay.
Yeah, they would.
But that's the same as a customer complaint. If you're not answering your phone, most people don't like to go to voicemail.
So one of the things that the GAP program does is kind of help a business owner get back to the basics and make sure that they're, doing the basics right. You mentioned profitability. Could profitability be anything from pricing to the cost of their operation? Do you look into those sort of things?
Yes, we look at both sides, right? The cost of, we try to figure out, what their operational costs plus their cost of sales. What can they do to reduce the cost of the sales themselves?
I see.
I'd like to make a point here. I'm going to go on a rant.
All right. Well, you tear away with it.
Okay. Yeah. This is my rant here. The mechanical age, the age where you call in and go to voicemail jail, and you can't get to a person.
Yep.
All right. And everybody gets frustrated by that. What are we doing about it? Small businesses particularly are prone to do this. They get trapped by the voicemail. There are services out there where you can actually get a live individual that will answer the phone instead of a voicemail.
And if I may chime in on your rant here, I would think that you're looking at an opportunity for a lot of people.
Exactly.
If you can provide that service, that more intimate service over your competitors who are using the mechanical things, I would think it would give you an advantage.
That's right. I think so, too.
Competitive edge. And that's another question we ask every client. What is your competitive edge? What do you think it is?
Personalization, face-to-face. This,
right.
And, I've been touting that for 9 months now, is that we're losing that.
Yeah.
With the age, what do you call it, the ice age we're going through here?
The ice age we're entering into. But you're right. A lot of businesses take on an arrogance. Then they don't want to be bothered, and those can be killers in the long run. You may get away with it for a while, but in the long run,
there you go.
It'll be the end of you. And when people come into the GAP program, are they normally on their way up, or are they on their way down, or are they just sort of on a plateau?
That's a good question.
Most of them are on their way up. Some have been on a plateau. Some it's either on their way up or on a plateau. I haven't seen any of our existing clients on the way down. But they've reached a level and they're stopped growing, or they are not growing at the rate they want to grow.
Okay.
Or they want to expand.
They want to expand, right.
Okay. All right. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation with Doug Ware. He's the director of the Growth Accelerator Program at SCORE. And once again, folks, if you have any questions or suggestions for the show, please send them to us at score@nationalec.org. That's score@nationalec.org. And don't forget the free seminar at the end of the month, 9:30 a.m. on that Saturday. It's called You, Your Business Idea, and How SCORE Can Help. And that'll be at the Entrepreneur Center. We'll be right back. Welcome back to What's the Score, folks. Once again, we want to thank you for listening to the show, and please tell all your friends and family about us. And, Rich, if they happen to miss the show, can they still hear it?
Yes, they can.
How?
Usually an echo.
No, seriously. Seriously, there's actually two locations where they can find us.
There are two locations where they can go back and actually see some of the vintage episodes.
Here, the vintage episodes.
Right, here. That's it.
But
here.
You can see what's on those vintage episodes.
You can. If you go to our website, which is scoreorlando.org, you can look up What's the Score on the website, but we also have them on YouTube.
No,
on our SCORE.
We're not on YouTube.
We are progressing.
I thought you didn't like these high-tech stuff.
No, I don't like a non-person answering the phone.
But this is a way where more people can be exposed to SCORE and these programs.
Right.
And this includes all the ones that we've done so far.
That's right.
I think this is the 21st.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of bleeps and other stuff in the episodes, but they still came out.
That's Score on YouTube and scoreorlando.org to hear what will soon be this episode and the past editions of What's the Score. Okay, real quick, I want to go back to where we started today, talking about BizFest, because that's how we got connected, Rich. And the next BizFest is coming up on May 19th at the Entrepreneur. That's the National Entrepreneur Center at the Fashion Square Mall. And it is free. And this is also a great introduction into Score, and they'll have a lot of vendors and things there as well, right, Rich? How does that work?
That's right. It's community service providers, but also vendors that are affiliated with small business. In other words, small business is their target market. So, therefore, they will be represented. And it's a great place to come and network. And it's free.
It's free for the attendees.
There you go, the other four-letter word.
Yeah, but what about sponsors? What if I want to be a sponsor there?
That's a great question. I'm really happy you led into that question. That, of course, yes, we have sponsors that will...
That's called a setup in radio.
Yeah, thank you. And we have 4 actual levels of sponsor. The platinum sponsor has a whole bunch of benefits to it. It's $5,000 to sponsor it, but you become the mainstay beside Score, so it becomes Score.
Who was the platinum sponsor last year? Did you have one?
Oh yeah, we had one. Paychecks. Was last year. Paychecks is small business. They handle the back office, HR stuff,
payroll,
Paychecks, and payroll.
Now, you have other levels of sponsorships as well. I mean, obviously.
That's right. Doug, you want to?
Well, the next level down is the gold level, and that's, I think
yeah, here you go.
The price on that was $2,500 for the gold level. And the gold level sponsor, they actually will sponsor a specific event. We have counseling during BizFest. We have it called speed counseling.
Oh yeah.
We have 2 different. We're going to have a seminar on branding imaging for the marketing side. We're going to have one on financial strategies. Those would be 2. So those are two events.
So a gold sponsor would be the sponsor of one of those
events to sponsor.
Okay, you have other levels.
And then we have there's still another one that we call a pitch fest. They can sponsor that too. The gold.
Okay,
right. That's the big one.
That's the big one.
Where you pitch your idea.
That's the Shark Tank like.
Right, and
event.
there are entrepreneurs and financial guys that are willing to look at your business idea and possibility of funding it.
Yep.
So it's a huge opportunity for small businesses.
Okay, and there are a couple other sponsorship levels.
The silver level, the silver level is $1,250, and basically you have a table there at the event to advertise your company, and you get your logo. First of all these sponsorships, you get your logo in our brochure.
Right.
The logo for your
and the website.
And by the way, you can see these various sponsorship levels at scoreorlando.org. And then there was one other sponsorship level.
Right, that's the bronze level, and that's $500.
Okay,
and there you get your logo essentially as part of on the brochures we have and the
website.
Right. And now the money we have to raise is because we give away money at the Pitch Fest. There's prizes for the Pitch Fest. The Pitch Fest has we have a Pitch Fest for existing businesses and one for starting businesses, and there's three winners in each level,
each category.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So the startup, of course, are talking about different things than the existing business.
Right.
It's really interesting.
All right. If you're interested in being a sponsor or finding more about what the sponsorships offer, go to scoreorlando.org. That's scoreorlando.org, and follow the prompts for BizFest. That's BIZFEST, BizFest. That'll be May 19th this year. And don't forget, once again, the free seminar coming up at the end of this month, which is your business idea and how Score can help. And both of these events will be held at the Entrepreneur Center in Fashion Square Mall. And so please do take advantage of each of those, Rich.
Yeah, and I want to mention here these things that they can sponsor, like the events. One of the events is going to be, should I divest myself of part of my company to get financing?
In other words, like on Shark Tank, sell a percentage of your company to an investor.
Just in general. Is it a wise move? Is it a dumb move? I mean, what is the perception out there as to realistically, is it a wise move to say I'm going to give up 40% of my company to get an investor.
Well, that brings me back to the Growth Accelerator program, because that sounds like an issue you guys might be dealing with. And speaking of that, did people come into the program just sort of blindly, or do they already have specific questions or ideas that they want addressed?
Most of them have specific objectives they want to address that come into it.
Okay.
And we help them. And but like I mentioned, two kids that had the sushi thing, they wanted it as a franchise, and we helped them change that strategy into opening another store rather than franchising right off the bat. So we look at their objective strategy, and we help them. We analyze it and give them basically our recommendations. Well, and again, they can make they can follow recommendations or not. We're basically providing advice, and we want their feedback also.
But is one of the specific goals that people who apply for the GAP program, is it to get extra financing, either for the investment or no?
No, it has nothing to do with financing other than positioning their business in a strong position to get financing from an outside resource.
I see. And once again, this is the Growth Accelerator program. Doug Ware is the director of it over at SCORE. If you'd like to know more about it, can they come down and talk to you directly, Doug?
They can come down and talk to me or any of our counselors on duty. Knows the program, can explain it.
Okay, and that's at once again the National Entrepreneur Center in the Fashion Square Mall, and don't forget the seminar coming up at the end of the month. And for someone that enters into the GAP program, as you said, Rich, they need to plan on committing to it for a number of months.
Right.
Is there something that comes after the GAP program? In other words, once that objective has been achieved and then they go back out on their own, is there sort of like go back to the mentorship program to sort of help them along the way still?
Yeah, they can, but they usually pinpoint on a specific counselor rather than the entire advisory board. Okay? Like the one that you let's say justly said, they flunked out of the program.
They went with a counselor instead.
Yeah, they went with a counselor, but they got as far as they could get in the program, which was to address their marketing issues, and now they're in a national company.
Okay.
So they're being offered by national retail outlets.
So they progressed.
Progressed famously, and now the rest of it is the financials and stuff like that, because they are getting the orders in.
But one of the team members of the GAP program would be the initial mentor that got them into it, work with them, and they would stay with that mentor if they liked working with him or her. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Once again, the Growth Accelerator program is for up-and-running businesses who have been running at least 18 months. Once again, you can go ahead and go to scoreorlando.org to find out the different parameters and the requirements for the program. But obviously, it is for someone who wants to take their business to the next level and get some of the best coaching, if you will, along the way to save you a lot of the headaches and the pitfalls, if you will. And Doug Ware is the program director. Doug, is there any one thing that you would suggest to someone who might be considering this?
Well, I'd say look at the application and see if you meet the requirements, and you have to say they have to really tell us what they want to get out of it. I mean, you
can't hold anything back,
right? You have to say, what are you really looking? How could SCORE help you? What are you looking for? And we need to know that.
All right. Considering that they're putting a lot of trust in you, with showing you a lot of their documents, what kind of guarantee do people have in terms of confidentiality?
All our counselors sign a confidentiality agreement. Number one, and number two, we cannot accept any money from a client. So, or we have to leave SCORE. It's a policy we have. And so one of the things that SCORE different. I mean, there's a lot of people that help businesses. You have lawyers, you have real estate professionals, you have CPAs.
It's a whole industry.
The one difference we have
for a fee.
Yeah, for a fee. We don't have a commercial relationship with the client, and we don't have an agenda. That's one thing that differentiates SCORE between any other people that you have helping you in your business. And you need more than SCORE. You need all these other people.
Yeah, and so essentially what SCORE can do is provide you a great support group, which, can help you out with coaching, strategy, advice, but still the decision-making is left up to you.
exactly.
And basically, still the work is left up to you.
Right.
These guys are not here to do the work for you, but they are here to help you save yourself from doing a lot of redundant or unnecessary work. That's why if you're up and running, GAP may be the program for you. Now, we oftentimes, matter of fact, most of the time, we're talking about startup businesses.
Right.
But this show is dedicated to you folks who are out there already in business. Right. So please spread the news around. Once again, you can tell your friends and family about the show. If they can't hear us on the radio, they can go to scoreorlando.org and look in their archive for What's the Score, or go to Score on YouTube, and you'll find the shows there.
You know, you brought up a good point here, and that is that our mentorship programs aren't necessarily a one-stop hit and run.
Right.
You know, I've had clients, particularly a window company here in Orlando area. I've had him for 5 years so far as he's grown through his different cycles and stuff. So this is not necessarily a quick fix. You know, it's a mentorship program meant to be a colleague of yours.
You know that everybody out there at some point needs some good advice.
Right.
And Score is the place to find it. Okay, folks, and What's the Score? That is the place to find good entertainment and good information like this. We hope you enjoyed the show. It's provided as a public service by Salem Communications, and we, of course, thank them for that. So please join us again next week for more of What's the Score?